you a lot. I have maybe one short last question.
Yes.
We know.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen from the Starknet ecosystem. How's it going? Welcome back to our Stark Stream, the weekly show where we recap the most important news that happened on Starknet during the past 7 days. So thanks a lot for coming back. And it's been an epic week. As you well know, it was a very important week for both the Ethereum and the Starknet ecosystem, as the EIP4844 was deployed. And so, the Dencun upgrade happened. And yeah, this introduced the so much awaited Blobspace that helped L2s lower their fees significantly. And Starknet has also been one of the first, if not the first, scaling solution to implement the blob space, and therefore to offer super cheap fees to their users. And we'll be speaking about that extensively. And then we'll also will be talking about the most important news that happened during this week. Together also with the creation of the gaming committee. So the final part of our Stark stream will be dedicated to our weekly Starknet gaming magazine. And yeah, looking forward to beginning with this Stark stream. And let me know how you're feeling, and let's get it started. GMGM, how's something? How is it going? Nice to see you here. Okay, guys. Okay, let's start with our chart section, and we're gonna use the Growthepie analytics page. We can see that starting from the total value locked, Starknet is up like 60%. I think during the week was went definitely higher. But as you know, during at the time we are speaking, there's a huge retracement in the whole crypto market. So obviously the value of the tokens, of the native tokens, of the L2s, of many L2s went down significantly, like 10%, something like that. And yeah, but Starknet is stable with 1.78 billions locked, and in the third position of this Growthepie's ranking. We can see that we are also stable in terms of weekly active addresses, with about 427,000 active addresses during the week, with an increase of 8.6%. Okay. Growthepie also introduced a very nice chart regarding the fees that have been lowered due to the EIP 4844 upgrade. And I think it is the only page that tracks the post EIP 4844 fees so far. And we can see that Starknet fees were are significantly lower than the last week. And we're talking about like around 3 cents per swap. and around 1 cent per wallet transfer, which is like a very huge decrease in transaction fees. So we are all very, very happy about that. And then yeah, like if we want to compare Starknet fees with other L2s, we can do that. Actually, as soon as the EIP 4844 was deployed, as I said, Starknet was the first, I think the first, I'm not 100% sure, but among the first solutions to implement this upgrade, and the first also to leverage it, right, by offering lower fees to its users. And I think it was something that, I mean, it was prepared the days before the upgrade happened. So I think it was also a very good move from the foundation or from Starkware to to implement the upgrade even before it happened, so that as soon as it was shipped, it was the users, Starknet users, could benefit from from it. And at the same time, it was also a good marketing move, because it is always good to be first, because often when you're first, you make history first of all. So I basically, when the upgrade was deployed, I also made a very informal, comparison regarding low fees, and I simply, simulated some swaps around the whole L2 space, and Starknet at the time I did that was the cheapest ones. Also because most of the other L2s hadn't implemented the Blobspace yet, and but obviously, this post, that's went viral. I think like 109,000 views, and like I did it also in it was directed to the Starknet community, which is my target as viewers. And yeah, obviously, like many also community members and yeah, influencers, call them like you want, from other L2s, they just they were very pissed off by the fact that I didn't specify that the other scaling solutions hadn't implemented the blob space yet. And but I think it is it is not my fault if they've not implemented since the first minute. And as I said, kudos to the foundation's marketing team, and to make Starknet be one of the first solutions, if not the first, to implement the blob space. And the rest is just cries and childish behavior. And also because I never lie, in the sense that when I also like show metrics in Growthepie or in L2Bits, I'm not ashamed to show Starknet in the 5th place instead of being at the top. And yeah, the truth, it is what it is. And yeah, and this applies also to the fact that Starknet was the first scaling solution to implement the block space, and to offer very cheap fees to to their users, and to its users. And then yeah, obviously, like Optimism implemented, and the op chains, all the op chains implemented the block space, and they are now the cheapest L2s. We're talking about less than 1 cent, while it is around here, it says around 5 cents for Starknet. Actually, I did a swap earlier on, was like about 3 cents. Also, the day the blood space was introduced, it was around 3 cents. And also the transfer for the cost for wallet transfers is very, very cheap, around 1-2 cents. So the thing is, right, we can compare too much Starknet with an optimistic rollup as Optimist, because, and the op chains, because no matter what they're gonna say, in the end they don't have fraud proofs in place, and they wouldn't be fair to to compare it with a zk powered solution that has a more bulletproof safety system, let's call it like this, security infrastructure, that maybe it's also like that, probably is also more expensive. So I wouldn't mind to pay 2 cents more in order to use a safer chain. And yeah, but obviously I'm very happy to see low fees in all DL2s. And yeah, then obviously I smiled a lot about all the comments that I received down this post. Many of them I blocked them because I don't tolerate impoliteness. But in the end, this is a business, guys, and I'm happy with that, with receiving critics from the competing ecosystems. I believe in being fair and respectful towards competition. I don't believe in being best friends with competition. In fact, I often smile when I see people like saying it's not true that we are competing, and we are the L2 words term is totally wrong. I don't think it's wrong. I think that business by nature, it's a competitive you know a competitive environment. Obviously, war is a big word. So I also think that philosophically speaking, I think that business is an hybrid between non-physical war and game with huge prices, right? So we should never forget that this is a business after all. The competition would do whatever they can to to pull you down, and vice versa. But I believe in being polite, in being fair, in being respectful, and yeah. But when you hear like we are all friends, we drink together, we sleep together, we eat together, even though we are like from a different ecosystems. I believe in getting along very well with competition, but I don't believe, I'm old enough not to believe that there is like best friendship among competitors. And because there's a lot of money involved and a lot of interests involved. So I don't tend to be naive. I tend to be respectful and realistic. And yeah, but having said that, I'm very happy that Seoul L2 Space is now offering cheaper fees to their users, and this is the thing we should also be very happy about. Then obviously all the links that will be showing during this task stream are available on the show notes of our YouTube video, and which is gonna also be edited later on. And yeah, so like Starknet also published obviously different post EIP4844 articles and pieces of contents. And here like Dencun has been live on Starknet since 2 days now, and the results are already impressive. Among validity rollups, Starknet has the highest share of L1 data availability costs, making it the biggest beneficiary of this upgrade. As such, we have seen a drastic reduction in gas fees by more than 90% thanks to it. While we are waiting to see the long-term impact when more L2s integrate with it, we can already tell you this is just the start. Expect many more optimizations and initiatives to further destroy gas fees on Starknet. So, like the point that Starknet is trying to make here is that also, as the other L2s implement the blob stream, the blob like the blob space would tend to become a bit more expensive than it is right now. And in fact, I think that the first hours after after the upgrades, the fees were very cheap also, because obviously it was like it was resetted. The whole the fee mechanism, the fee market was starting from zero, so they were very cheap. By the time other L2s implemented, obviously there will be more traffic there, and fees will be relatively more expensive. But Starknet is has already planned to further lower the fees by implementing the devolution upgrade that will happen in the coming months, and also by I think offering fees rebates and stuff like that. In fact, in their pre EIP 4844 article shipped like one day before the update, like they disclosed their fees related roadmap. So we are like in the phase one, where Starknet is a 4844 ready. So this was even before the EIP was shipped. And now we're seeing lower costs, significant lower costs. And then we'll see Volition, which is hybrid L1 and L2 data availability. So currently, Ethereum data costs account for the vast majority of transaction fees on Starknet, which currently supports only layer 1 DA, data availability. But the introduction of EIP 4844 is expected to reduce the cost of L1 DA, data availability. But the extent of that cost reduction will still be determined by factors related to the L1, like the factors that how many L2s will implement it, and how much traffic there will be in the whole L2 space, and so the demand of the blob space. And then we would enter Volition, which is a Starknet centric upgrade. And Volition is a feature that facilitates hybrid data availability, that will enable users to pay even lower fees by choosing out of any, by also choosing to opt out, so not to deploy any data availability on the L1, and choosing to store their data on the Starknet L2. And this will lower the fees even more, dramatically more, I would say. So really looking forward to Volition, because it's also like a feature, an upgrade that is referring to Starknet only. So it won't be influenced by the other L2s, and yeah, really excited about that. So, and yeah. So then there is also like another couple of phases. There is Starknet v 0.13. So like the version 0.13 that went live in January 2024 featured a substantial reduction of 50% in computation and up to 25% in DA. Then there will be another phase, like a dynamic layouts, no results left behind. Then the Starknet Foundation's early fee reduction initiative. So I think they will introduce something like fees rebate. But yeah, I really suggest you to read this paper that you can find in the show notes below. And then we move to also, if you want to find out more about Starknet's approach towards the EIP 4844, I suggest you to watch the community call number 53, the Starknet, the 53rd community call, where Henry from the Starknet Foundation and Ilya from Starkware discuss such a epic upgrade and what it means for the Starknet tech and for the Starknet ecosystem. So we also found out that thanks to Token Terminal, that Starknet has surpassed the 2 million active users. I think it refers to active addresses. So we crossed the 2 million milestone in a month. So more than 2 million active addresses in 1 month. That is also like due to the high traffic that we saw during the claiming of the Starknet airdrop. Like a couple of phrases regarding the Starknet tokens price. As I said, there's a huge retracement taking place in the whole crypto space, which is something that I always like, that I also said in the past, that I was predicting in the past stream, because I believe that the market was overheated, a bit overheated. So retracements are always healthy. So we went to almost a peak of 2.66 to like a bottom of $2, and I wouldn't wonder if it goes even lower than that in the coming days and weeks. And yeah, I expect, to be honest, I expect like a relatively, maybe I will be wrong, but I think the market will tend to remain a bit more quiet in the coming weeks. So let's switch to our DeFi section. And we have a very big news, a lot of big news regarding the Starknet DeFi ecosystem. In fact, like we reached 326 millions logged on the Starknet DeFi scene, which is a very impressive. Milestone, and this is also due, I think, to the fact that zkLend introduced their own token, so that also, let's say, inflated the figure a bit more. But so far we saw a good increase, which also, like, it could be higher if there weren't obviously this retracement in the price of assets. But I'm very satisfied with the ongoing 326 millions being locked on Starknet DeFi. Starknet DeFi is growing day by day. The Starknet DeFi Spring has entered its second phase yesterday. Yeah. And that was characterized by zkLend's token launch, and also by the Nostra's staking liquid token, Stark staking liquid token, that we'll be speaking about later on. But first, I would like to cover a bit extensively the zkLend's airdrop that happened yesterday. In fact, the zkLend team announced the eligibility check and the eligibility dashboard earlier in the week, and we can have a look at their announcements here. So the ZEND Airdrop season 1 has landed, so they're hinting that there will be more seasons ahead. We can just break down like that, the criterias, the categories that were eligible for their airdrop. So, like, there was the first category was OG farmer, which counts, which includes the users with time-weighted average daily deposits of $15, calculated during the alpha launch period from May 11th to June 14th, 2023. Eligible wallets for this category 7,850. Tokens distributed 549,500. OG e-bagger, the second category, and this referred to bagger, not beggar. Okay, guys, so nobody shouldn't get offended by that. Users with time-weighted average daily borrows of $10, calculated during the alpha launch period from May 11th to June 14th, 2023. Eligible wallets 6,032, tokens distributed 422,240. Then we have the big whale category that cover the users who consistently supply capital to zkLend post-alpha launch with a time-weighted average daily deposit of $38 from June 15th, 2023 to February 15th, 2024. Eligible wallets 28,584, tokens distributed 1,143,360. Then we move to the L2 leverager or leveragor category that covers users who consistently utilize leverage from zkLend post alpha launch, with a time-weighted average daily borrow of $14 from June 15th, 2023 to February 15th, 2024. Eligible wallets 22,185, tokens distributed 1,109,250. More yield-daddy category, users who accumulate interest from deposits divided into 3 rewards tiers. Eligibility requires $2.5, $25, or $100 in interest earned between May 11th, 2023 and February 15th, 2024. Each tranche will be eligible for a different amount of tokens. Eligible wallets 2,301, tokens distributed 85,820. Chat borrowers category, users who accumulate interest from borrows divided into 3 reward tiers. Eligibility requires $2.5, $25, or $100 in interest accrued between May 11th, 2023 and February 15th, 2024. Eligible wallets 2,542, amounts distributed 305,040 tokens. Then there is the last category, which is dedicated to the ZEND fam, and these are users eligible for any of the categories above and who hold eligible NFTs and or selected wallet addresses. This includes holders of ZenDAX NFTs, NFTs awarded for Starknet Quests, Starknet Turkey Quests NFTs. On top, 100 zkLend Crew Trees wallets will receive a 1.1 per multiplier on the total airdrop rewards. Eligible wallets 10,240, amounts distributed 93,230 tokens. So snapshot was taken on February 15th at 4 UTC. Value of assets and interest generated is based on the time-weighted price in USD. Users may be eligible to receive tokens from one or more of the criteria listed above. At the conclusion of the Season 1 airdrop, a portion of unclaimed tokens will be allocated back to the ecosystem pool for future airdrops and rewards programs. Okay, guys, so you can read the announcements that you can find on the show notes of this Stark stream. And I'm also really curious to see how zkLend will implement staking for their own tokens, and also to secure their protocols, their lending protocols even further. And also I heard that they made one of their priorities the fact of distributing or trying their best to distribute part of the protocol revenues to their users. And I'm really curious to see how they will turn that idea and dream into a reality. Some words regarding the price of the zkLend token, around $2.78. So we're talking about maximum supply of the zkLend token is 100 million tokens, which puts zkLend's fully diluted valuation at around 280, about almost 280 million total value locked, which is very remarkable. So I think I know the team personally. Obviously, I'm also one of their contributors, so I'm involved. I'm indirectly involved in their project. So you should know that. And as always, nothing that I say here is financial advice. We don't give financial advice in this stream, and you should you should do your investments, making your own research, and by also being very, very careful. And yeah, that's it for our zkLend section. Let me drink a little bit. So now I would like to speak about ZKX latest feature, which is PayMaster, which is a very important, I would say, revolutionary feature, smart contract feature that allows protocols and indirectly users to pay for the gas fees without using the Ethereum token. So let's read ZKX announcement on the matter. So last week we announced the ZKX PayMaster going live. So today we are back to dive a little deeper into their feature and give you a walkthrough of how to navigate the PayMaster with your ZKX account. So we often speak about the ZKX derivatives protocol on our Stark streams. And so what exactly can you do with the PayMaster? So this feature helps users to bridge seamlessly from Ethereum to Starknet on your ZKX account using USDC. So you don't have to have it in order to bridge USDC from your Ethereum account to your ZKX account. So how does the PayMaster work? The PayMaster smart contracts work in the background, right? So behind the stages. They swap USDC for it to pay for the gas, and then inside the same smart contracts, it is deposited to your ZKX account for future transactions. And so in this way, the user interface allows you to make direct deposits on your ZKX trading accounts. And there are like two trading accounts for the time being on ZKX, the OG trading account, and which is a sort of gamified trading experience, and pro traders, more like professional and serious trading interface. And so whether you want to fund, so right now, thanks to PayMaster, whether you want to fund in OG trade or pro trade sections, or want to go like 50-50, you just like you would save a significant amount of gas fee that have to be paid for transferring from the main account to the margin account. So users will save a lot of gas fees during these processes. And yeah, so they are also shared a small clip about how you can leverage the power of the PayMaster. So basically, once you have created your ZKX account, if you've not created one yet, you log in into ZKX. As I said in the last Stark streams, ZKX has a in-app wallet, because ZKX is a sort of like L3, right? So they have their own wallet, and you need to log in into your wallet. Then you choose like to fund your wallet using like Ethereum. You log in into your MetaMask, and you decide which ZKX accounts you want to fund. And then you will sign a transaction from your MetaMask, and you will receive your funds straight to your ZKX account. Okay, so let's switch to another important topic of the week. In fact, StarkCity London happened last Wednesday, and it was a resounding success. There was like a lot of very interesting very interesting talks, epic panels, and there was also a surprise guest. Nobody knew that, and Vitalik, Ethereum's founder, showed up, and he held the last fireside chat with Henry from the Starknet Foundation. Very, very interesting chat. You can find the whole program from the conference on the Starknet Foundation's YouTube channel. I mean, I'm halfway through it, and it's like 9 hours of talks and panels. And yeah, so far, I enjoyed all the talks quite a lot. They're very interesting. They have a lot of news regarding what's coming next in the Starknet ecosystem, and yeah, I really suggest you to watch it during this weekend if you have time, or during the coming weeks. What else? Uh, so let's take like I also now we'll be playing in the meanwhile that I have a short break. I will be playing a 3 minutes footages from the fire chat from the fire chat that's the like the Henri from the foundation held with the Vitalik, and I also made a clip, a meme clip out of it, because basically Vitalik said that he's a big fan of the Starknet airdrop, and I did I did a meme by like sorry, I just the bell rang and I got distracted. He said, Vitalik said that he's a big fan of the Starknet Airdrop magazine. So if you want to hear, a wider footage of of this fire chat, I cut a 3 minutes video that you can listen in the meanwhile that we have a short break. So enjoy it. Let me set it up.
Can do for rollup. Blobs were a massive major feature. What can rollup do? What can rollups do for Ethereum?
Yeah, I think.
Fantastic. Thank you a lot. I have maybe one short last question.
Yes.
We know what Ethereum can do for rollup. Blobs were a massive major feature. What can rollup do? What can rollups do for Ethereum?
Yeah, I think helping Ethereum scale is obviously super important. Another thing I think that's important is that I think in addition to being a technological layer 2 for Ethereum, I view a lot of layer 2s as also being kind of economic and cultural layer 2s for Ethereum. And what I mean by that is that like Ethereum core has a very particular culture, right? And it's optimized around being like very ideologically pure in a lot of ways that I think we really value. It's optimized around preserving the sanctity of the base layer, preserving the neutrality of the base layer, preserving a lot of things that people care about. It's definitely not optimized around appealing to users, for example, right? And I think one of the really valuable things about the Ethereum community is how it's this like very heterogeneous thing where there's lots of different groups that have a lot of different styles and different focuses. And I think layer 2 teams do a great job of reaching out to users around the world, right? And I think you guys do a great job of that. I think a lot of the other teams also do an amazing job of that. I mean, Scroll has been doing that more and more. I mean, Polygon has been great at attracting many kinds of users. Like with Optimism and Coinbase, obviously, and like Arbitrum and all the various use cases on that, right? So I see it as like different L2s having a lot of these different, like not just technological focuses, but these kind of cultural focuses on supporting. Appealing to different kinds of users and like really trying hard to like actually make things friendly to users and bring them in, which I think is amazing. also from an economic perspective, like funding things that the Ethereum protocol by itself doesn't fund. And like I'm a big fan of the way the Starknet airdrop was conducted, for example, right? I think rewarding solo stakers was great. Rewarding all kinds of different contributors to the Starknet and the Ethereum ecosystems from a code perspective was great. I think a lot of things there were amazing. I mean, obviously none of these airdrops are perfect, but I think it's it's important to remember that there's visible errors, but then there's the invisible error of doing nothing. And if you never make errors of doing the wrong thing, then that means that you're making huge numbers of errors of never doing the right thing, right? Yep. And I think big kudos to the Starknet ecosystem of really blazing the trail on that, and just continuing to do the job that you guys have been doing on advancing the technology. Yeah, and really. I've been observing, Starknet over the last 5 years, really, coming to age, in terms of just having this cultural brand and technological brand, and being its own thing. And to me, that's super amazing, and I'm excited to see where this ecosystem goes in the next 5 years.
Thank you, Vitalik. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, here we come again. I hope you enjoyed this footage from the Vitalik's fire chat with Henri from the Starknet Foundation. I really enjoyed it, and it was nice to to receive these kudos by Vitalik himself. And I think he highlighted something that we always also said during the past weeks, especially after the Starknet airdrop. Even while we were we were receiving a lot of criticisms due also to other non airdrop related things. I was the one of the few ones keeping saying that the Starknet airdrop design was historic, and will remain a important historic milestones for the whole scaling ecosystem. It paved the way to reward Ethereum stakers. So in the books of history, you will read that Ethereum was the first scaling solution to reward Ethereum stakers in their airdrop. No matter what will happen in the future, that's the thing. It will remain like that. So far, obviously, this is something that can change in the future. Probably will change, but until the moment that we are speaking right now, the Starknet airdrop has been the biggest airdrop ever, and we should remind the competitions of that. And obviously, we are not perfect like any of the scaling solutions. We're trying our best to improve, and also as a community, and we should focus on ourselves, on improving our projects, our infrastructure, and yeah. So I'm very very bullish about the Starknet ecosystem. Also, sub ecosystems there are like emerging the old L3 scenes that is starting to pop up. The old gaming. Dual gaming ecosystem, which is growing at speed light. So there's a lot to build and to make content with. So we should be focused on that. And yeah, but once again, what a great time to receive these kudos from Vitalik. Okay, let's continue with our Stark stream.
Thank you a lot. I have maybe one short last question.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. It's not this one. Okay. So let's continue with another important news from the week. And Nostra Finance announced actually, they already announced it last week, but yeah, they launched their Stark staking liquid token. And so basically, by staking Stark into their lending protocol, either by by basically you can stake your Stark tokens, and you would receive Nostra Stark liquid staking tokens, and you can provide liquidity on their AMMs, on the Nostra Stark tokens uh, pair, or you can also supply your your Nostra Stark staking liquid tokens and receive rewards from that. And also, like, they are offering a 10 points, a 10x multiplier for to boost your points in the Nostra's platform, and those points will be probably converted into Nostra's tokens in the future. And I think their token, I would also add that their token is not far away, because also, if we take into account that zkLend launched their own token, as to go back to our to our talk about competition, I'm sure that Nostra won't let too much time pass by the time one of their competitors has launched their token. And yeah, this is the law of business, guys. So you can also read more about Nostra Stark and their the liquid staking tokens, and yeah, you find the link on our show notes. So the Starknet Foundation has also teamed up with Tokentable, which is like a tokens distribution solution. So it helps projects distribute tokens in an effective and safe way. So they're partnering, I think, also to design maybe further drops, or also the distribution of grants, stuff like that. And Tokentable will also help introducing the Ethsign protocol in Starknet, on Starknet. And Ethsign is a omni-chain attestation protocols that it brings introduces like digital identities, right? So a sort of decentralized digital identity, and that is also very useful when you need to distribute tokens. Like, it is useful to target your customers and stuff like that. So we've come to our Starknet gaming magazine, and the first news that we'll be covering on it is the fact that the Starknet Foundation has announced the establishment of the Starknet committee, and which is like a board of very gaming focused and very experienced people, who will be brainstorming and monitoring programs to boost the Starknet gaming ecosystem. Hello, Anime. Hi, how are you doing? So, as I was saying, this board will help, will help boosting the Starknet gaming scene, and we can read a bit. So the Starknet Foundation is excited to announce the formation of its gaming committee, comprised of 6 experts. The committee's mandate is to promote the growth of gaming on Starknet. The gaming committee's role. Sorry, I look like Biden at the moment. Anyway, so the gaming committee's role is to analyze, strategize, and recommend programs to expand the Starknet's gaming ecosystem. Its success will be measured by usage metrics like daily active users, retention rates, and revenue. So yeah, really excited and looking forward to seeing how this board will brainstorm creative ways to boost uh, engagement and growth in the gaming system. So we can also read the members of this committee. So we have Henry from the Starknet Foundation, the guy who interviewed Vitalik at the StarkCity London. Then we have Holly, so Starkware marketing growth specialist. We have Gaban, Focus 3's co-founder. We also have Chris Lemon, Unstoppable Games, the gaming studio behind the Influence game. Then we have Terence Van Haas from Cartridge and from the Dojo core contributors team. So lead contributor at the Dojo on-chain gaming engine. Then we have Lord of Rams, so Love, also known as Love, who's like core contributors at Loot Rams and also at the Dojo on-chain gaming engine. So their combined expertise will guide the committee in achieving its goals. So I also heard I received messages from people saying, "What do you think about the fact that what about the fact that the gaming, this gaming committee is receiving like 50 millions, which is also more than the 40 millions liquidity incentives program related to the Starknet DeFi initiative." And well, I would say that I wouldn't compare the two things in the sense that most of this money, I think, will be used for first to further build gaming infrastructure on Starknet, to further educate gaming developers about the potentials of Dojo, for example, and of the Starknet gaming tech. And then obviously will be spent for organizing gaming centric events and workshops. It will also be used I think, right, I'm just speculating, but I think it is the case. It will also be used to make partnerships with Web2 gaming studios in order to encourage them to experiment the tech. Because as you know, there's a big bias against the Web3 gaming in the Web2 game space. And according to my own experience, one of the most effective way to fight bias is to put money in the table. And it can sound cynical, but it is what it is. And so you give, you receive, and we'll be seeing I think partnerships with L2, with Web2 studios in the near future, and really looking forward to it. And then obviously a part of this money will also be used to reward gamers, right? Absolutely. But obviously it's different than the DeFi's liquidity campaign, because that obviously is just like pure liquidity incentive programs. Okay, so let's move to to the Rams World L3. As you know, during the past weeks, they announced that they would be building an L3 on top of Starknet, an L3 dedicated to the whole Rams.world autonomous ecosystem. And yeah, they shipped their devnet, so developers can already play a bit with their testnet, and you can find all the docs and all the instructions you need if you're a developer to start having a look at their L3. And yeah, you'll find the link in the show notes as usual. Let's say a GM to our dear friend Starky the Doggo. GM, my friends, how are you doing? Hope you're enjoying the Blob Age on Starknet. And yeah, so also speaking about the Rams L3, there's also a game which has already announced that they would be building on the Rams L3, and this is the Force Prime Heroes. And so Force Prime Heroes is a fully on-chain game inspired by the Heroes of Might and Magic series for all the the gaming geeks out there. And you need to explore the map with your hero, grow your army, defeat enemies, and kill the Bone Dragon to win the map scenario. As part of the play test, you will see about 10% of the final gameplay. Stay tuned for updates. In the current version, we use simplified combat system that automatically calculates the casualties. Despite its simplicity, it's also inspired by the the Heroes of Might and Magic series game experience. So here are some general tips to succeed. To reduce your casualties, have a bigger army, higher ranged units to avoid casualties in battles against weak enemies, don't attack enemies that are too strong, and so on. You'll find all the instructions to enjoy the game. Maybe I will plan a game session in the near future. For the time being, I think they will just hold some occasional gaming sessions. So the game, I think, it's not public yet, so you can play it whenever you want yet. But stay tuned for more to come. So another big news from the Rams ecosystem, like as you know, the banners NFT project, this interesting and creative NFT collections related to the Rams ecosystem, and I think you'll be able to use these banners in the Rams autonomous world. So they're very appealing, right, to Rams fans, I would say. And they postponed their launch. It was like forecasted to happen like last week, but in the end they postponed it for they postponed it to make it happen after the the Blobspace thing was introduced, because obviously now fees are much cheaper. And yeah, so it's happening in a couple of hours, guys. So in 2 hours, more or less. And there are different phases. The first one is like you can read all the instructions here. So first one related to whitelisted whitelisted addresses, and then the following phases will take place. Okay. So, and obviously for all the news related to the Rams.world autonomous world, I strongly suggest you to read the latest edition, the latest issue of the Herald's newsletters, which is, the Herald is a collective from the Rams.world community, and they ship this weekly recap about the Rams autonomous world, and also they also recap some news from the gaming ecosystem. So kudos to them, and they're also like they help us a lot to recap the gaming ecosystem on Starknet, and you should definitely subscribe to their newsletters. Okay, last but not least, maybe yeah, we can cover it in the gaming magazine. Like the Not Guardians Quest platforms for devs has launched has finished their beta version, so they shipped a more official version. And yeah, actually, Not Guardians is not Starknet exclusive. They also have quests related to optimism, maybe arbitrum as well, but anyway, related to other ecosystems, even alternative ones, if I remember well. So, but they deserve to be to be mentioned because they helped also the Starknet ecosystem a lot in the coming in the past years. And you can learn more about Cairo by playing their requests on their platform. So kudos for for the for the closure of their betas version, and we wish them all the best. Well, guys. So we've come to an end. I hope you enjoyed our Star stream. We covered, the beginning of the blob space age on Starknet. We had some considerations, even some philosophical considerations about, competition, comparisons with other L2s. I think you will find these discussions interesting, even if you don't agree with them. Then we also covered, the DeFi section, the some tech news, and also we finished the Stark stream with our on-chain gaming magazine, with our Starknet on-chain gaming magazine. So once again, nothing that we say here is financial advice. So this is not financial advice, like anything that we do in these in these contents, and you should be aware of of how you invest your money and time in the space. So yeah, obviously make your own research and navigate this space in the safest way possible. Having said that, you know, I would love to thank you once again so much for being here. Hope I'll see you next week. Make sure to give us a follow on Twitter and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That will help us a lot. And once again, thanks a lot. And make sure to share the Starknet vibe. And see you next time. Bye, guys. Take care. See you.